I just realized that that you may not show up on the video recording because you're only going to be able to see us.
That's what I was.
Maybe I'm wrong.
On the test run I did, but we'll see. There are worse things.
There were things, and I believe I'm recording. Let me just double check to make sure my system is recording right now.
Yep.
Yep, it is recording a call. We are good on that end. All right, so our warm-up. We're going to try and have a conversation / tell a story, whatever, We're going to try and do these conversationally as though we were responding to each other, but we're going to use song lyrics or song titles. So, for instance, I might start out with, what's love got to do with it?
Love is a wonderful thing.
It's a bittersweet symphony.
Until you hit the wall.
Then you got to jump. You might as well jump.
Jump for my love.
Love, love, love.
I guess it's just a sign of the times.
Till now, I always got by on my own.
Wonder Boy, what is the secret of your power?
Purple Rain.
He's a magic man.
He's like a rainbow in the dark.
What we're lacking here is a logical endpoint. So how will we know?
I don't know.
I think we got it.
I don't know that many albums.
No,
titles.
I think that worked really well. It worked better than it did in improv class. So.
It's true.
Okay, so now we're going to give ourselves 5 seconds of silence, and then I will clap, and then we'll get rolling. Anything else?
Velvet Ramble.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another edition of the Velvet Ramble podcast, featuring me, the Velvet Fist, and
Professor Rambo,
and special guests,
Gherkin Picklewater.
And Karen.
Yay! We've skipped a week, but we're still on schedule. The train is late, but the train is on time.
I don't think you can be both of those things at the same time.
You've got to allow for a little bit of cognitive dissonance,
Okay.
Anyway, so guys, how have your past 2 weeks been? But actually, how have your past 2 weeks been, and how did it go with your challenges?
My challenge, I believe, was for my partner to develop an exercise plan for me and to do it at least once. And what we did instead was went for 10 to 20-minute walks every day.
which is kind of an exercise plan, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so hard on my knee.
Yeah, your knee took a dive, so trying to be kind.
How did your challenge go, Professor?
Well, I think unlike all of you, you have visual evidence of how it went, which I submitted today. The person who submitted that evidence, I think, missed the point of the whole exercise. I don't think the exercise was to make me look ridiculous. Well, maybe that was. I don't know. But
I think you look pretty nice. I mean, you got some grandpa energy going on, but you still look pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree that you look nice as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. I I think she thought that was really bizarre, but I actually do wear those clothes normally, but without the hat. So
it's the hat and sandals that kind of push it over a little bit.
The sandals were a problem, especially since I don't think you had any lotion on your toes, to be honest.
You couldn't see that in the picture. Okay.
I saw that in the picture.
I think you were just assuming it was this thing, and I had just taken a bath, so I don't think they were this thing. But anyway, it was what it was. She did not think of footwear, and I think she quite liked because remember her goal was to make it look as ridiculous as possible. So she
And again, the goal, the challenge was to let your offspring dress you for the day.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the word ridiculous was in it, whatever. But she obviously heard the word ridiculous in place of that, and with great. I mean, if you don't mind, I'll call her towards the end of this and let her because she was worried that I wouldn't actually show you the pictures, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
that's why she forced me to send them to you in front of her, and also she forced me to write that text, both those texts, and also take a video
Nice.
to make sure that this.
And she forced you to put in all those exclamation points in that text message?
Yes,
'Cause there were like 4 of them.
There were actually less. You can ask her yourself. There were less exclamation points, and then she said, "I want more exclamation points." She said that's all. She thought she wanted more. I was like, okay, I'll put as many as you want, whatever. So that those texts, those words were all I typed exactly what she told me to type, So yeah.
Oh, cool.
did a
Very
great
nice.
Mm.
And Karen, I have to admit, I don't remember what your challenge was, so you're on the honor system a bit for how it went.
Oh, so Gherkin challenged me to eat no sugar for 1 day.
Oh yeah.
Dang,
And I got
okay.
pretty close to doing it. The only thing that I slipped up on, I had a Starbucks bottled drink, and that definitely
Yep,
was sugar.
that'll do it. That'll
Yeah.
do
Wait,
it.
so
Well, good job.
A drink of what?
It wasn't bad. It was
Frappuccino.
like
like
those-
those mocha frappuccino things in a bottle that you can get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Good job.
sugar.
That was my sugary thing. But it wasn't as terrible as I thought it might be. I think the key for me, I just need to eat things that taste really good. And I ate a lot of tacos that day. So
Nice. Yeah, the Velvet Fist made me a lovely salad the other night, and I was really, it was difficult for me to share it with her because it was so good.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you liked the salad, even though it felt like I probably put too much salad dressing in it.
No, it was pretty much perfect. It was pretty much perfect. I'm willing to eat as healthy as I possibly can, as long as someone else is willing to do the work.
Yeah, and that's one of my goals is to do more cooking because, as I said, my as I've been saying all week, my refrigerator is now too full, and I need to get some stuff out of it. And a lot of it is meat stuff, which means and eggs, because my mom keeps giving me cartons of eggs. So I think I now have 6 or 7, and that means we have to start eating omelets.
And frittatas.
An egg connection to somewhere.
Yeah, because she keeps going to, I think there's a church that in the town where she works that keeps giving her free food.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
So, and she said, I just wanted croissants, but then they just gave me croissants and eggs and cabbage and cantaloupes and some other stuff. So I went over to her house yesterday morning and cut up 3 cantaloupes for her so that she'll actually get around to eating them. So yeah, that was that.
And she foists off the eggs on us. Fist, what was your challenge?
My challenge was to share a painful truth with my therapist. And, I've had 2 therapy sessions now. And I was as honest as I could be. And so we'll see how that goes. She also gave me homework, which I have yet to do. I think the homework from the first session was to actually do some yoga, and I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to try to attend my yoga teacher has been doing online classes, so I'm going to try to attend at least one of her sessions this week because she's done several of them. And then I think my homework from our last session was to try to be better about estimating the time involved in doing my work, my employment work. So I'm going to try to do that so I can get better about figuring out how much time I need to perform tasks, because that will make my life easier in certain ways.
I've been working for the last couple of hours. I'm doing some contract work from home, even though I have no job now. I'm still doing contract work, and for the last couple of hours, and I ended up really bummed out by the end of it. I mean, I still got a lot of work to do, but 2 hours of contract work just left me super, super unhappy.
Why?
Why?
I have no idea. They're just tedious, warm.
Or is it
long.
because of the topic of the work?
Probably. It's about managing the homeless, and that's never been a part of the job that I enjoyed.
Well, as I keep saying, that there's prime material for movies, because you could be saying contract work, but what you really are is contracting for the mafia as a hitman, And so but you have to spin a story. Well, I can't really tell you what I really do. I'm doing contract work. Can't really tell. I'm not really lying to you, but I'm telling you, but I can't really do. And then it's really depressing me because I have to take out people I didn't want to take out, whatever. But and then we all think, oh, he's just upset because he's dealing with this other thing, whatever. And so then the movie, and then of course, while you're having this Zoom session, the opposing mafia people burst in. You get into a gun battle. We don't know what's going on. You can take it from there.
I think you're getting a little too close to the truth there, Professor.
No.
So maybe we should edit this part out.
It's a joke.
So.
Well, you know what happens to jokers, man.
They become leaders of large. Jokers. They become the most interesting characters in really cool movies.
Until eventually someone realizes the Joker or the Jester has gotten too close to the truth and then tries to eliminate them.
But they don't succeed, do they? But anyway, okay. I love the Batman series. Let's not go down that series. Let's go on with the podcast.
You love the Batman series?
Yeah, the Joker didn't die. He didn't die at the end of the Batman. He wasn't defeated. He was just captured. He'd always break out.
Sorry, we're not talking about the Joker. We're talking about Jokers.
Oh, you mean like in the song, there's a Joker. I'm a Joker. I'm a singer.
Or like think of Goodfellas, like when Joe Pesci's like, "What am I, a clown to you?" And then
that thing. Oh, yeah.
So, on that note, completely unrelated, today's topic.
How are you pursuing your dreams?
I guess that is related to my dreams, but not the rest of yours. Do you have, we all had dreams before we became adults, and that's kind of the process of adulthood, is wringing those out and leaving them up to dry and forgetting they're there and walking away. But presumably we still have some dreams left over from that massive purge that pushed us into adulthood. So what are your dreams and how are you pursuing them?
Can I expand on that before everyone answers? Yeah. Because I was thinking about this a few minutes earlier, and I was thinking that I think when people think about pursuing their dreams, they're usually thinking about career dreams, but I feel like there can be dreams from many different parts of life. Mm-hmm. There could be relationship dreams, there could be career dreams, there could be retirement dreams. So just I want to encourage everyone to broaden their scope of what a dream could be.
Right now, moments before we talk about it.
Yes, because that's how we do.
So how is it going for you guys? What dreams do you have left, and how are you pursuing them, if you are? How about you, Professor?
Me? Oh, well, obviously I've been thinking about with the refinement that the Velvet put there. Well, I look at it. Not so much I had a lot of dreams when I was a kid, but also I look at it of refining my dreams into more, because I had a lot of them. I want to be a pilot. I wanted to be a movie director.
I want
to be a cowboy. Obviously, these are standard ones, whatever. And also want to be an engineer, and so refined as I go older. As far as personal dreams, well, I was just commenting recently to people that I've achieved at least, the fact that my kid is alive and healthy after 10 years with me is was a dream come true. But of course, the full dream is to see her, start off in life, whatever. And as far as future dreams, I was just thinking like, my dreams are starting to refine towards like, because a lot of my time is spent up with work, so to a point where I don't have to work as much as I do, but I'm able to do other, like, there are a lot of things I want to do. They're not connected with my job. Like if you notice from the picture that I submitted, you also saw that there was a large construction piece I leaned against, which was the doghouse that I just built with all these tools. And I was thinking I would like to do a lot more stuff like that, and perhaps move to a place where I could do a lot more of it in a more serious way, maybe even out in the wilderness, whatever. And so. And I was thinking, like, how could I possibly do that? Because, and so that's more, I think, you can see kind of a dream, because it's something that I need to work towards, because where I am right now is not, it gives me opportunity to learn to do, but it doesn't give me lots of opportunity to do that. I need to work towards doing that. And also, being able to not work as much as I do, would be a dream come true. Like if I won the lottery, I'd be able to just, kind of sit back and, not spend most of my working hours working. So I guess that's my dream. My dream is to basically be able to still remain engaged and have things I'm working towards, but not have things that I have to do that stand in the way of those things. So.
Nice.
How are you working towards that?
Well, some of it is it's like doing things like before I started building things with wood, whatever. I wasn't really I hadn't really done a lot of stuff before, so I look at that as so much practice. You can say that the dream of moving out of part of my dream is to move out of California and move somewhere else, more U.S. whatever. And I kind of investigated some of that when my daughter was being born, but I haven't really done that recently. We still travel around. I haven't really done that recently. And also, I've started taking a lot more. I did some weeks ago. I talked about taking more online classes, so I have started doing some of that.
Nice.
So this Coursera. One is one is more like I'm studying how Bitcoin works, so I can hit it big in the Bitcoin bubble. Bitcoin bills are being made every day. Why not me? I don't know, but I think we have to understand how Bitcoin works. So I'm taking one class in that, and then some other classes, something else. So yeah.
Are you taking classes on how to game the lottery system?
I don't. Yeah. Though you could argue that Bitcoin is probably similar to the lottery. I just happen to believe that I already know that the reservoirs of luck are not huge. So, and I don't really believe you can game the lottery, or you're not supposed to be able to. I would be very upset if I found I could game the lottery, because I would think you're not supposed to be able to game it. It's supposed to be completely random. So, yeah. So no, I've not read any of those books. I haven't really. I've also not studied up on how to become a poker player. I haven't started, taking classes on blackjack and all that kind of stuff. I haven't also studied up on how to do real estate, flip houses and stuff like that. I haven't, there's a whole bunch of very commonly followed. I have no intent to enter any multi-level marketing things, whatever. I don't plan into politics, whatever.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've spent this much time discussing your anti-dreams.
Well, there you go. You asked.
I didn't. You said you'd want to win the lottery, so I was like, have you looked into how to win the lottery? And apparently the answer was no. So much for that dream.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a common thread between your dreams? Like, is there one goal that you have that ties them together somehow?
Well, I think the common thread could be is just having more free time. Like the majority of my life, I've been employed since I was, I don't know how old it was, but not just employed, but also working. Like one of my jobs was a dream of getting rich, like with the startup, So I worked for 7 years. I worked like crazy, like all the time, more than I work. If you can believe it, more than I work now, literally nothing else, because my dream was I started because my friend had told me, if you join this company, do this thing, in 5 years time, you will be buying property on a Caribbean island, and that sounded like a cool dream at the time. So I went for it, whatever, obviously I'm still here. This is not a Caribbean island, so that dream didn't pan out, but but they're all like, like it's something like just having to work, because I have to work, I have responsibilities but not just here, also across the ocean, whatever. So, but a situation where I have enough financial resources to satisfy all of my requirements, and also to live on. It doesn't have to be enormous amounts of money, and then the freedom to go off and pursue these things, like without having to worry about finances, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But that's everybody's dream. But it's more like freedom, just freedom from not so much responsibility, but freedom from the stress of meeting those responsibilities. So.
Yeah.
So who's next?
Gherkin.
Me? Hello, me? Okay. I'm echoing like crazy.
What are your dreams?
I mean, I want to have a kid. I guess that's definitely on my plan over the next 10 years. I would love to move to somewhere where it rains, but I guess my actual dreams are to perform a lot more than I do right now. I've been performing maybe once or twice a year for the last 10 years, and it was skewed higher. Now it skews down to like once a year over that period, but it's not good. And being a performer was my dream since I was very small. Actually, before that, it was owning a circus, but performing is close enough. So in the shelter-in-place, quarantine, pandemic era, I've been taking a lot of online classes to increase my skill set. So right now I'm taking improv twice a week. I'm doing voice lessons. I was looking at taking some acting lessons, but that's not going to be as feasible now that I have no job instead of 2 jobs. So yeah, my dream is to spend more of my time performing, and if at all feasible at any point, to make my living doing it. That would be the peak, the ideal. Make my living being a performer, being a character actor, being something along those lines. You know, I'm not looking to be the leading man. I'm not looking to make millions of dollars. I just want to make a living doing what I do for a living. And that's my dream. To be happier. I think happy is not a state of being, but a frequency of occurrence. And I'd like to be happier more often.
Okay.
As opposed to just being a happy person, because I don't think that's feasible. But I'd like to have more incidents of happiness, and being with the fist has definitely increased the amount of time that I spend laughing. So that's been a plus. So those are my dreams.
Because you seem like from the outside, maybe because I've only known you since you've been with the fist. So been with the fist. Been with the velvet. Okay. So but so maybe that's the thing. But because you seem like a happy person, but maybe that's just you've been with the velvet.
No, I've got crippling bipolar depression. And that hits the worst from August to the end of October every year, and it's pretty heavy duty. It usually starts by now and then really kicks into overdrive August to October. But it's been better this last couple. It's been better the last 10 years. And it's been better this last couple of years, and I do everything I can to manage it. It's just part of life, you know.
Yeah.
Woo, fun.
Yep.
No, you're talking. Well, I don't know if all of us, but I speak for myself. I don't have bipolar, but I have definitely depression. So I can understand. I can't understand. I was reading recently. That's a very rude thing to say, that you say that you understand somebody else's thing, because you can't understand somebody else's thing. You can only empathize with it, because I'm not you. It would be rude of me to say I understand your situation, but I definitely empathize with it. So. And
to clarify something, because I always feel the need to clarify this, I have a thing called bipolar 2, which is different from bipolar 1. Bipolar 1 is the one that has the manic swings, where you think that Kanye West has bipolar 1, with the delusions and the mania and so on. I have bipolar 2 that goes from depressed to annoyed, as opposed to depressed to manic.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we're thankful for that.
So annoyed is the highlight?
Yeah, the annoyed is the high end. The high end is a little bit pissed, just generally fed up with everything, all the way down to crippling depression.
Alrighty then.
Fun times for me and mine.
Fortunately, I'm quite annoying, so this works out well.
Yeah, it's super good. Actually, the manner in which the fist is annoying is incredibly uplifting. She likes to poke me and tickle me and prod me and say obnoxious things and evoke faces from me, and just she actively tries to annoy me on a regular basis, and and unfortunately, I find it really entertaining. Unfortunately for her.
I'm shocked by this. I've never seen that kind of behavior before, so I don't know what you're talking. It's just totally out of character for her. I don't know what's happened. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's what it sounds like when Professor Ramble is being sarcastic.
So she definitely picked the right person to pick on.
Yep.
That's for sure. So, Karen, Velvet Fist, which of you guys would like to go next?
Well, I feel like for me, freedom and happiness have also been a big part of my dreams. I think when I was in high school, I thought that I would become either a musician of some kind, maybe a composer, or a writer. And I feel like I never had like a real expectation that I would make it in those fields or be able to support myself that way. So over the years, it's kind of evolved into where I sing in a community choir and I write for myself pretty much, and I self-published a book of poetry. I feel like in some ways I probably kind of, I don't want to say I've given up on my dreams, but I don't feel like they're realistic. I guess I don't see them as being worthy of my complete time and attention, which is kind of sad. Because I've always had a backup plan. Like, okay, you have to have a real job to pay your bills. And so I've pretty much always done that for the most part. And I'm not sure how I would get back on the path to where I was when I was in high school, where I had it was more okay with me then, thinking that, okay, I'm going to go to school and maybe major in writing or music, and I might not ever use it, and that's okay. But about my junior year in college, I kind of flipped out, and that's when I dropped out. And I said, you know what? I don't want to continue this because I can't make a living doing music or writing. So, I don't know. I feel a little disillusioned by my dreams, I guess. And I'd like to get to more of a path of peace with it, where I feel like it's okay for me to be doing my dreams on the side. Which, even just saying that sounds awful, right? Doing your dreams on the side. Who wants to do it that way? But, yeah. I don't know. I guess when I retire, that's what I envision now. I'll be able to devote more time to it. And I've still got a good 20 years ahead of me before I can do that. So, at least.
I think pursuing your dream as a hobby, pursuing your dream on the side, is totally valid.
Yeah,
I think that's the best most people can hope for, and most people don't achieve that, is to try and pursue those dreams with the time they have for themselves. And if you can pursue them in any way at all whatsoever, even if it's incremental, that's still a really positive thing.
Yeah.
And speaking as someone who's actually monetized their hobbies, I will say that doing something for fun is in some ways a lot easier than doing something for money. Like, I enjoyed belly dancing, but then when I became a dance teacher, that became a lot harder because it was a lot more responsibility. Or, I enjoyed yoga, but then becoming a yoga teacher, again, you got more responsibility, and then you're kind of forced to expand in ways that you don't necessarily, or directions that you don't necessarily want to, because suddenly it's not just about, expanding your practice, but it's about, monetizing that knowledge. And it's kind of, in some ways, I think pursuing your dream as a hobby or as on the side gives you more freedom to be true to that dream, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, the thing is that it also comes down to, like, when you say pursuing your dream, maybe I think a lot of people assume that your dream included is an implicit assumption that your dream, you're going to be able to do nothing but your dream, or live off your dream, or achieve great monetary success from your dream, as opposed to like for example, I one of my dreams was to be a musician, but I can't play an instrument, nor can I sing. But if I could actually do that, if I could actually do those things and just do them, even if I made not a single penny from them, and if I just do it for fun, because I figured I would probably enjoy playing the saxophone or whatever, just for fun, or writing. If I would assume that if you want to do anything like that art, that you would have to love the act of writing itself, as opposed to writing towards a goal. just the idea of I like playing saxophone. I like writing. So my job is just something I do on this. My job is something I do on the side to support my dream. I don't do my hobbies on the side. Like with the person I live with, what I always say is she's a dancer. She has a job, but what she is to what she gets joy out of, what I enjoy seeing her do the most is not her job. It's performing. So she's that's not how she supports us. But she. I would never say that she's a whatever her job title is. I would always say she's a dancer, because that's she was doing that when I met her, and she's done it ever since I've known her. She would say that she's not doing it right now, but that's I consider her a dancer, not a person who works for a company. But anyway, these are all just you probably know all this stuff already, so I'm just.
Well, that is the degree to which I am a clown. You know what I mean? That is my calling, but not my vocation.
Yeah, I don't know what. You see, you might be a hitman, killing people, whatever, but I still consider you a clown. That's what I.
Just keep looking at it that way.
Killer clown.
Killing people is what you do on the side to support your clown thing. Just give me these movies could be great, man.
Yeah, instead of killer clown from outer space, you could be a killer clown from
Mountain View, from the mountains.
Well, yeah, killer clown from Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, Velvet Fist.
Yeah.
So I was more thinking about this. In the short term, I think let's see. In the short term, I'm interested in. I've had dreams of being a writer, and I've had dreams of being a singer. So I still have to work on the writing thing, because I feel like I just don't write very much since the place that I was writing for stopped existing. So I think one of my goals is to start writing more, and I think write more, I guess get back into creative writing. And I've not really been doing anything about that, just because I've not really been doing anything about that. I think one of the ways that I kind of want to sneak back into doing that is to start blogging, but I have not touched my blog in ages. So that's just kind of like, that's a dream. It's completely to the side at the moment, because I don't feel, I feel like my starting point towards writing more will be reading more. And I just haven't been reading very much that isn't like online. And so I actually need to like settle down and start reading actually more stuff that's going to stimulate different parts of my brain than straight factual news does. Another dream is, so Gherkin and I have both been taking voice lessons, and that kind of feeds into my dream of like someday I want to sing in public and not in a karaoke way. So I have one dream of like maybe auditioning for a musical, because that would involve both singing and dancing, which I think would be really cool. Or even just to, like, I think lately with the whole online thing, I have suddenly developed a dream just to like sing in someone's wedding. I'd like to be a wedding singer. I don't know how I would make that happen, but I think it'd be really cool. To be able to sing without it feeling like a self-indulgent thing, and in a way that I know that people would enjoy it, is a goal. And so voice lessons, and eventually getting to the point where one of my goals, one of the ways I want to kind of sneak into that is to start posting song videos on my Instagram. And since Instagram stories only allow you to do 60-second videos, I would probably have to do it on the Instagram TV thing, which means that instead of having the songs expire after 24 hours, I could, I guess, make them private after 24 hours so that they wouldn't be up there just embarrassing me in public all the time. But so that's something that's on my list of goals. Once I feel like my voice is like to a point where people won't look at me as if to say, what the hell are you doing? Why am I listening? What are you thinking? I don't want to be someone's example of some sort of self-indulgent, terrible sound. But anyway, online karaoke is my goal, but on Instagram rather than just in the karaoke Zoom chat. But the other thing I was thinking about was one of my Facebook friends is a Buddhist, and let's see. So the story with her is she's basically someone from an online forum that I belong to. She used to live locally with her husband. Her husband went through a battle with cancer and eventually passed away, I think, from brain cancer. And then she moved to somewhere upstate and like sold her house, moved upstate, and basically now she does I think she's done a lot of soul searching, and so she joined an app, I think, called Everybody Dies or We Croak or something like that, and she'll occasionally share posts from that. And then she shared another post, which I can't remember verbatim, but it was, this is what a Buddhist stand-up comic would say, and it was just basically like, get used to the idea that, you know, no one will ever remember you, and everything you ever loved will end up at someone's garage sale and no one will care about it. And she finds that to be comforting because it means that nothing that you do in life is significant. And I found it to be really depressing because I really want my life to be significant. So we had a little spat about that, and then agreed to disagree because she's just wrong and I'm just wrong, and we will never meet in the center.
Maybe you're both right. You're both right. You want to right minimally.
Yeah. But one of my basic dreams for my life to be significant in ways that will outlive me. And so that very notion of like, no one will remember you, and everything that you love or care, or everything that every little piece of your life that you hold on to so dearly will end up in someone's garage, will end up in the trash or at a thrift store, doesn't really jive with I want my life to be significant in ways that outlive me. So I don't know exactly how to achieve that dream, but that is ultimately my dream. I don't have any great way of working towards it.
Well, this wasn't depressing at all.
Well, hey, this is your topipic, so if you were expecting to be cheerful, I don't know why.
I picked this one thinking it would be more uplifting.
Do you consider that depressing?
I want us all. I'm going to go ahead and make a challenge now. I'm going to challenge us all now. Right now, we all have to do something that makes a significant, by which I mean measurable, push towards pursuing our dreams. So pick a dream, pick a thing that moves you slightly closer to it, and achieve that thing over the next week.
Over the next week?
Yes. A thing. It can be incremental, but do a thing that actually puts you on the path towards accomplishing one of your dreams.
Okay.
And it can't be something you're already doing.
That's not fair. Because what if maybe you're already doing something that is pushing you towards your dream, in which case,
do more.
Anyway, but to get back to this uplifting part of things, what dreams have you already achieved?
I graduated from clown school twice.
Yeah. I think we all mentioned dreams that we've already achieved. All of us have mentioned. You talked about you want to become a belly dancer, and then you became yoga. You went to yoga. You did, and then you even monetized those things later. I don't know whether that was. I remember the time when those things weren't part of so much part of it. Karen, I went to Amazon. There's a book there, so I don't know. I don't have a book on Amazon. I don't know. It even inspired me. I'm like, wow, she actually did it. It's possible to do it. Somebody I know somebody actually published a book. So. Our friend there is obviously as he just said, he is literally a clown. It's not like he's not a clown. So I think we all in some ways have achieved our dreams. So some of our dreams, not all of them.
So what is the most outlandish dream that you feel you've achieved?
Ooh, that's a bit much.
Full time as a tarot reader.
I'm sorry?
I worked full time as a tarot reader.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
How did that go? I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
It was hard, honestly. That was one of those things, like a hobby that I monetized. I never really imagined I'd take it that far. But I was working full time on a hotline, and I had my own website and stuff, and was taking private clients that way. And it actually kind of got to the point where I was sort of burning out on it, because it's the same kind of questions all day. Like, is my ex-boyfriend coming back? Does he still love me? And that gets really tiresome after a little while. So, yeah, I can see what you're saying about, it's more fun when it's just your hobby and you're not trying to make a living off of it.
Can I ask why that was pressuring? Because wouldn't they just accept what you told them? I mean,
A lot of times they wouldn't. They would keep asking the same question, or they call back the next day and ask the same question over. I'm like, nothing's changed since yesterday. Have you heard from him? Well, no.
well, yeah, it's like
people don't want to give up hope.
Well,
So.
you tell them that hey, he loves you, but there's a wall of I don't know the detail. It just seems like that they can't sue you for not for false tarot readings, whatever. I don't
Well, how much of that is tarot reading and how much of that is like online therapy?
There's a fine line there. Yeah. A lot of people really should be in therapy and they can't afford it. But although at $3 a minute, I don't know how they're calling yeah, it's kind of sad, to be honest. But hopefully I help some people along the way.
Yeah.
So before I think my most outlandish. So there is the previous career as a photographer we won't really talk about, but that was a pretty big accomplishment. I produced the most. Anyway, I had a big career briefly as a photographer, but I think the most outlandish dream I ever had was leaving my entire world behind and moving to California to go to circus school. And I did that. And then I did it again for a second year just to try and get better at what I was doing. And it did not end up with me doing it for a living like I would hope. And like most of the people who did it, they didn't actually end up doing it as their sole source of income. But that was a pretty major dream for me. And it was a huge gamble, pulling up stakes and moving to California where I knew no one and had no income and had no savings.
Yeah, my most outlandish, I think, was outlandish. I don't know if we call it a dream, but step towards a dream was that I became like stumbled into becoming the online bill collector for this Japanese porn site. So
wait, what?
Yeah, you know this. You know this story. So this was back way before PayPal or anything like that. So
in the early days of the internet.
Yeah, very early before we even knew how to. So I had to, I was doing something completely different, and then this just people in the world through some complicated, convoluted ways of I became with this guy who had a friend who was in Japan who was a playboy. He wanted to do a porn site, but we need to collect money from the porn site, and so we had to figure out a way to charge credit cards for it, and you would be shocked at how primitive that system is. So I had to write software to do that, whatever. And then once I wrote it for this guy, then it turns out that the place that his site was hosted was there was a gay website on there, which also needed the same service. So I wrote it for them. And my mistake was that I remember laughing a lot when I was doing it. I never thought it was a big deal. But I often think back like, wow, because the guy kept telling me, he's like, wow, there are a whole bunch of other sites on here that could use this. If you were able to monetize this and make the bills or something else, whatever, you can make a lot of money from it. But I was too focused on just the hilarity of it, because you'd be shocked at how it was enormous. Like people from all over the world, Russia, Ghana, tons of people from Ghana. That's for the gay side. Just tons of people from Ghana and I had access to all the information, all their phone numbers, everything. And just little me sitting in the apartment in San Francisco suddenly had access to all this information. I could have just charged all their stuff, endlessly, whatever. But it didn't. My lack of business skills and foresight caused me to not see the opportunity, and so I ended up getting a job, and that portion of my life ended. But yeah.
That's pretty outlandish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, Velvet Fist?
Let's see. Most outlandish. I mean, I feel like nothing is coming to me at the moment, but I have to feel like it would be a very short-term sort of dream. Like, most outlandish dream might be, I still have my bucket list of things I want to achieve, like So when I sprained my ankle, that was on the list, and that's done. I still probably have on the dream I have to faint at some point, and so then that will have been accomplished.
Is there quicksand or anything like that wrapped up in this list as well?
No, but this conversation it reminded me that I still had my goal of doing one big athletic achievement per year, and I've definitely fallen off on that. So I could probably return to that. I was just thinking about when you talked about your photography. I remembered that I had this whole series of photos that I took from the hike up Half Dome that Karen tricked me into going on and then didn't even complete herself, which was 13 hours of walking on my part and her spending the entire day on a floaty in a river.
It was amazing.
For
kind of a difference in height.
I lost 5 pounds that day, Al. I just want you to know. 5 pounds in a day.
Wow.
13 hours of walking because of you.
But
on
you
the
did.
other hand, it let me fit into the bridesmaid's dress that I had to wear for Professor Ramble's wedding. So that was something.
Oh, you did that before that? Okay.
Yes, because I didn't want to have the dress altered at all. So I was like, the zipper didn't quite go up before I left, and then when I got back, it fit perfectly. So that that worked out nicely. So things like that. I probably, if I could get around to, I did a half marathon. If I can get around to actually doing a full marathon, that'd be cool. But doing the half marathon was, I don't know if that was a dream, but at least it was a goal achieved, which I appreciated.
It was very much achieved.
It's pretty outlandish.
Resounding way.
Yeah, and I like being able to tell the story that I ran a half marathon in Death Valley, because it sounds cooler and more death defying than it actually was.
That sounds pretty cool and death defying.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. I have a dream of having an inflatable pool in the backyard. I could probably achieve that at some point.
That's not as outlandish.
Well, I mean, it's not outlandish, but it is still a dream.
An above ground pool.
And you'd have to trim the trees back a lot.
Would I though?
To keep it from filling up with rotten apples? Yeah, probably.
One of those big round above ground pool things?
Yeah. I mean, not a gigantic one, but a miniature sized one. And another person on Facebook posted a photo of their cute little above ground pool, and even though it's not large enough for them to swim laps in, they got a swim belt which they fastened around their waist, and then I guess there's a rope that goes from the swim belt to maybe I don't know, a fence post or something, so it allows them to swim in place in the pool, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how many these dreams can be. Like went to Japan, and they have these really great toilets there, and they have this company called Tushi that produces these, it's like a miniature one of those, and they're only $100. I just figured that out today. I was like, wow, I can get the full experience in this thing.
You're talking about a bidet toilet, or?
It's obviously, I'm assuming that you guys don't want to hear the details of this.
I definitely want to hear the details of this.
Well, the other people probably don't want to hear it. The point is that
I think we all want to hear the details of this.
I've already talked too much. I'm just saying.
I feel like you're the only person here who's been to Japan, so we want to live this experience through you.
Well, I don't think we have enough time for me to fully get into it.
We have plenty of time. I'm
just saying that the toilets in Japan are awesome.
What makes them awesome?
They're just Japanese people in general, their attention to detail is renowned. Everything they do is, even wrapping a whenever you get something from the store, is wrapped beautifully. I mean, and this is this is not being generalizing. It's everywhere I went, and I would travel. We went everywhere in southern Japan where we were, and they also had just almost every toilet we went to was just they have a different attitude towards toilets. It's like it's not a gross savage act of an animal. It's a delicate act that's just to be engaged in, and and it's just everybody does it. And of course they added technology to it, such as squirting water and stuff like that. Towards certain areas, clean whatever. See what I'm talking about? See,
you mean a bidet?
Yeah. Well, not just because I think a bidet is that's just that implies just a random shot of water up towards your region.
Paint?
look, again, I'm trying to be like here. And also not tape because it's not tape because that's not the part that needs to be cleaned. So, obviously, Japanese have refined it such that they have targeting mechanisms that target certain areas. And what's amazing in Japan is that because we went to really nice hotels, some of them are self-adjusting. So it's testament. A lot of people think the Japanese can be somewhat xenophobic, whatever. But my butt is obviously not. I would say is not either shaded or shaped like a typical Japanese butt. Yet this technology was able to work with it quite successfully, and I was very impressed by it. There's also heating involved, as well, and certain air flows, and certain even automatic, all you think is genius, like all in this one piece of technology that and I was very impressed by it, because the age I am, I do thinking in that area. So, but I
You mean you rest thinking on the toilet? I'm just trying to.
You're using these. When I am in my moments of extreme privacy, I would say when I'm okay. Anyway, so
how can you possibly be this delicate?
One of my dreams, that was a dream of mine to come back was to acquire one of these things, and I always thought it was out of my reach because I would have to tear out the toilet and put a new one in. And then I saw this advertisement, for instance, called Tushy, whatever, which is you can put it over. You can match it to your toilet.
Yeah.
So
we have one in San Francisco at the apartment.
Yeah.
And I've never used it, but I mean it's still there, so they're still using it.
Why don't you use it?
Because I feel no need for a bidet. But Number two, this gives you a specific goal to work towards for your challenge for this week.
Oh yeah, when you said that, that's exactly what I thought of. So I just have to press a few buttons on our phone, and because we went out to buy toilet seats today, and I was so when I was buying the two toilets in this house, I ended up coming back to the store with one, and I committed to buying the other one because I think we only live so long, and and we do spend a certain amount of our time there. Why not? Why not? Don't I deserve it?
So it dries you too?
What's that?
It dries you too? It doesn't
yes,
leave you...
Okay. See, I've been France. I'm not a bidet user, but so when I went to France, I love bidet. So that implies when you finish, the water sprays up in this thing, whatever. But I think what you're missing is that this is a aiming technology. So you have to aim the faucet in a certain direction. And I'm arguing with my child because I expect that after you do that, after you set the controls on it, it would be targeted towards a particular type. And I don't want her going in there and messing up my controls, like on the radio in the car. So whatever. So we're in that argument.
Does it have a joystick?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Again, we're getting too many details. Whatever. The point is that it's online. Whatever. I don't know. I didn't bring this up before, but because this is very much a dream. This is kind of an embarrassing dream, but it is a dream.
No, actually, that's a good dream. One of my dreams is to have one of those European toilets with two different buttons, one for solid and one for and one for liquid. Mm-hmm. So I mean, a toilet I think is a good dream.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Karen, do you have any toilet-oriented dreams?
Toilet-oriented. Not really. Mostly I'm grateful that I'm not. Until recently, I was working as a CNA, so I wiped a lot of old people's butts, and sometimes I even had to pull the poop out of their butts. So.
Okay. You see.
Mostly, I'm just grateful I don't have to do that right now. So.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I will say it is one of my goals to have as little to do with other people's fecal matter as possible. That's one of my goals for life, really. I do have another bathroom-related goal, or it's not a goal so much as it's a realization. I realize that life is too short to not buy toilet paper that I don't actually like. So I'm now committed to only buying toilet paper that I personally enjoy using.
But that wasn't already a thing?
No, because then...
What's for me?
For me, it's like, well, sometimes you want to get it feels more economical to get the cheaper toilet paper or...
No.
But...
What are we, savages?
But I'm committed, so... I'm now committed to only buying toilet paper that I personally enjoy using.
3-ply quilted.
Yes.
No.
Wait, that's a thing? 3-ply?
It's ridiculous. My personal toilet paper, I'm not buying it now for reasons, but, pre-pandemic, my toilet paper preference was the Cottonelle Ripple single ply because it's, I don't know, somehow
Oh my
the
God.
Ripple makes up for the single ply.
I like single ply. I will
Yeah.
only buy it. This is a big disagreement in my household. My wife
Yeah.
only uses double. I use single.
Comfort Clean.
Yeah.
Cottonelle Comfort Clean.
So, moving on from this waste of time.
Insulting.
We're rolling up on the end point.
So,
did
you have a place you wanted to end on? I have a thought.
I would love to hear your thought first.
I wanted people to share something that has made them happy over the past 2 weeks.
It's silly and it's repetitive and it's getting tedious hearing it from me so far, but the Velvet Fist makes me laugh. That's about it. Not a lot of other joy out there in the world right now.
And I will get joy from saying, I told you so to Gherkin, because when we talk about wedding vows, I keep saying, you're probably going to come up with some like really poignant thing to say that's going to make everyone cry and make me look bad, because I will not be able to say anything as charming or poignant. And he said, that's ridiculous. And then he made a Facebook post this week, which he said was going to be part of his vows. And so I already know that I'm right and he is wrong. So it makes me happy to say that. I'm right and you're wrong.
Okay. Oh God. I don't understand any of that stuff. Yeah.
So, something that made you happy in the last week, Professor Karen?
We went on a date yesterday, like outside the house. We went to the aquarium. Socially distant with masks. It was very nice. It's good to get out.
Sounds nice. Yeah. Well, obviously I have a kid, so most of anything, the house we that you saw, I finished building it. So we building a dog for a house, so it doesn't deserve a house that big, but he got a house that big. And
your dog is tiny. So. But I'm glad you finished the doghouse.
Yes.
I will say another thing that made me happy is I finally got my driver's side window switch fixed. So now I can roll down my driver's side window, which means I can be in the car without melting. So that's nice.
That is nice.
We're about to end. Just in the last minute, just for a minute, let me just call this person in so you can confirm that I showed you the picture.
Okay.
Go and finish.
So, I do think we should all try and pursue our dreams as the challenge for this week. Just some discrete thing that puts you a little bit closer to the road to pursuing one of your dreams.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute.
I'm going to either try and pursue acting classes or force myself to do skills practice for about an hour a day for the next week.
I will show them. Just say. So we're ending. All you have to do just. Did I show you the thing?
Nope, he didn't. He absolutely didn't.
Oh, come on, guys. Seriously.
Yes, he showed us the photo.
Yep.
It was good work.
It was good work.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Off
you go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Close the door. There you go. Yeah. Bye. Okay, that's it. So, should we sign off?
Okay.
All right.
This has been another sparkling edition of the Velvet Ramble podcast. Thank you for listening. If you would like to participate in the conversation, feel free to either comment if you're on a site that allows commenting, or send us an email at velvetramblepodcast.com. And we're happy to we welcome your insights. That's the word.
We crave your feedback.
But not in a desperate way. We're not like desperate girlfriends or ex-girlfriends. We're like the cool girl ex-girlfriend who will not care about your opinion even as you share it.
So yeah, by all means, share it.
But know that we don't care.
That's encouraging. So on that note, thank you all for sharing your dreams with me. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
And with that said, We will bid you a fond adieu.
Peace out.
Adieu.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.